Calculated risk.
Mm-hmm.
That's the story of my life. I've been risking a shitload of my life, but it's calculated risk, bro. Ready for the next hand? Yes, we've got aces on the big blind. Having pocket aces on the big blind is a fantastic hand. Depending on the table action, you might consider slow playing to trap opponents or raising to build the pot. What's your strategy with aces? He raised me with king four. I just re-raised and yeah, took it. I started a new chat here where I now give her the role in this chat. I want you to act as the best professional Texas Hold'em poker coach in the world. You know all the stats, all the averages off by heart, the best techniques and tips and tricks. All right, so you're going to teach me, and I'm going to ask you about hands and variations, and you're going to give me the answer real quick and fast, so you can help me with decisions in real time. Okay? And she's like, "Got it. Let's go."
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna start my. Hang on, I'll start the poker stars, and now I'll activate Lucy. So first of all, bankroll management, very important, right? So basically, most people do is they start small, they lose a bit of money on $1 or $2, and then they're like, "Fuck, I just want my money back," and then they'll go into bigger games, $4, or they'll put like
Mm-hmm.
50 or higher, and then all of a sudden they're like, I lost $20. If I just win one $20 game, I have it all back. So and then they start spiraling and then just lose the shit out of money. See that there's a science to it. I'll be making moves eventually. I hope. I could be miserably failing now as well, but because I'm just trying to show it now. But basically, you'll see that there's a science to it, okay? And there's bet sizing. Uh, um, there's betting patterns. There's averages, bro. There's only 52 cards in the deck, so you can there's always you can calculate your like four people folded. That means there's 8 cards been folded because four people times two, boom, 8 cards are gone. From out of 52, okay, that means there's still 44 cards in the deck. Okay, I have two. That's only 42 left. There's three on the flop. Okay, there's only two more coming. What is my I have 3 cards. I need two more runner to hit the straight. What am I at? What is the percentage? Bro, it's all maths and strategy. There's no fucking that, bro. There's a luck aspect to it because you don't know what cards are coming, but it's not a coincidence that the best players in the world always land on the final table with each other. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But to be honest, this looks interesting in hearing.
Thank you very much. So that's why I'm not teaching people how to gamble. I'm teaching people how to calculate risk. Okay. The rules of bankroll management, and you can apply this to so many things, but basically in poker, bankroll management says kind of a thumb rule is not to buy into any tournament which is over 5% of your whole bankroll. Okay, so 25 is my bankroll, right? $1.25 is the maximum buy-in I can do, right? Because 10% is
Mm-hmm.
250, 5%, 125. Easy, quick maths, right? So that means I'm only allowed to play the $1 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
In order to play a $2 game means I need to have $40. Okay, so now I've bought into this.
Okay.
I bought into this $1 game, and I'm only going to play $1 games until I have $40. When I have $40, I've qualified to play the $2 game. Okay, that's my that's how I
Okay.
do it. So you never go bust. You know what I mean? Or you don't play over your means, because if I only have $20 and I play a $20 game or a $10 game, bro, I'm under
Yeah, it's a high
pressure.
risk.
There's pressure involved, right? But if you're only playing
Mm-hmm.
for 5%, bro, that means you can play that game 20 times and you're bound to win one of those rounds if you're not a complete. It means you then have an equivalent to play another couple of $1 games. You know what I mean?
This is like best strategy I've heard in my life, to be honest.
Thank you, my friend. I told you I'm not just a pretty face, you know? We'll do this or the other one. Yeah, I call it quits for today. I just finished this one up. We cancel this one. We'll play that another day. Keep that ticket. Let's go. Let's double down on that. So this guy just took this guy down. That's sick. Oh, whoa. Full levels. It still takes a bit. Answer 50. Takes up with it. Not all. It feels so dirty. Not an overbed. I don't know what I mean, you know. Oversized bed. Yeah, it bought me out. Oh, guys, what am I doing? Okay, time for bed. Like these kind of suited connectors, they're called. Let's go. Another one. Another one bites of dust. Another one bites of dust. Lucy, baby. Where's Lucy? Let's get some help. Okay, I've got ace seven suited on the big blind. Everyone's folded except small blind.
With ace seven suited on the big blind and everyone folded except the small blind, you're in a good position. You should consider raising to put pressure on the small blind and take control of the hand.
Queen three in the small blind. Everyone folded.
If the small blind has queen three offsuit and everyone has folded, you should be in a strong position with your ace seven suited in the big blind. Considering a raise would likely be the.
I have queen nine on the button.
With queen nine on the button, you're in a good spot. This hand is strong enough to consider a raise if no one else has raised before you. It's a playable hand in a late position like the button.
Queen nine, I could have played maybe. Under the gun, Jack King. I've got Jack King under the gun.
With Jack King Carol under the gun, it's a strong hand, but you'll want to consider the table dynamics. You can raise to start building the pot or call to see the flop if you think other players will raise behind you.
Because I had three.
I'm here to help with any poker questions you have. What else would you like to know?
Okay, I'm in the big blind with 9 and 10 offsuit, blind at 30 and 60, and two players limped in and small blind called.
With 9 to 10 suited in the big blind, facing two limpers and a call from the small blind, you have a playable hand. You can consider checking and seeing the flop since you're already in the pot.
Okay, I've hit 9 on the flop.
That's a good start. With top pair on the flop, consider betting to build the pot and gain value from weaker hands. How do you plan to proceed?
I bet half pot.
A half pot bet is a solid choice. It helps to build the pot while not risking too much. Keep an eye on how your opponents react. What happens next?
I got one caller with top pair.
Having one caller is good. It indicates some interest in their hand. Pay attention to their actions on the next street to gauge their strength. What comes up on the turn?
Turn was at 3. I raised half pot and opponent.
Raising half pot on the turn with top pair and a moderate kicker is a good move to keep building the pot and get value from hands like draws or weaker pairs. How did your opponent react?
Opponent folded and we took it down, Lucy.
I'm here to focus on helping you with poker strategies and hands. What's your next move in the game?
I'm on the button with ace-7.
With ace-7 on the button, that's a decent hand for a late position. You should consider raising to put pressure on the blinds and potentially steal the blinds or build the pot if called. What's your plan?
Ace-9 suited on the big blind.
It seems like there might be a typo or a bit of confusion. Could you clarify your question about the hand you have on the big blind?
I've got ace-9 suited on the big blind and two check callers, limpers.
With ace-9 suited on the big blind and facing two limpers who just called, it's a good hand to play. You could consider raising to put pressure on the limpers and gain control of the pot, especially with a strong suited ace. What's your decision?
I raised and I hit the ace on the flop.
Hitting a pair of nines, assuming D means 9 on the flop is good news. Consider betting again to
I hit the ace on the flop, not the 9.
Hitting an ace on the flop with ace-9 suited is great. Now you have top pair with a strong kicker. Consider betting to capitalize on your strong hand and extract value from hands like lower aces or draws. What's your next move?
I bet half pot and took it down.
Nice job taking down the pot. Betting half pot was effective in building the pot while keeping control of the hand. Keep up the good play. If you have any more hands or situations you need help with, feel free to ask.
Ace-3 on the button.
Could you please clarify your question about is 3 on the button? It seems like there might be a typo or misunderstanding.
No, I had ace-3 suited on the button.
Got it? You had ace-3 suited on the button. That's a playable hand in a late position. Depending on the table dynamics, you might consider raising to assert control or calling to see the flop. What did you decide to do?
I folded.
Holding ace-3 suited on the button can sometimes be the right decision, especially if the action didn't seem favorable or if you were facing a raise. It's important to pick your spots wisely. Ready for the next hand?
Yeah, got king 8 suited in the small blind and one raiser who raised 3 big blinds.
With king 8 suited in the small blind and facing a raise of 3 big blinds from another player, you are in a marginal position. It's generally not recommended to call from the small blind without a strong hand, so folding might be the safer play here unless you have a read on the raiser being loose. What's your plan?
I folded. I've got jack queen offsuit under the gun.
If you're saying jack and queen have already been dealt, it means you have king 8 suited in the small blind.
What the fuck? I have jack and queen offsuit under the gun.
With jack and queen offsuit under the gun, it's not a strong hand to open with from early position. It's generally better to fold in this situation to avoid playing from a disadvantaged position to this flop.
King 9 suited with 2 limpers on the big blind.
With king 9 suited on the big blind and facing 2 limpers, you have a decent hand to play. Consider raising to put pressure on the limpers and gain control of the pot. This hand has potential for both high cards and suited connectors, making it a reasonable candidate for aggression. What's your decision?
I did 3 times big blind raise, didn't hit the flop. Should I re-raise?
Re-raising after not hitting the flop can be a bold move to represent strength, especially if your opponents are showing weakness. Just be cautious if they show resistance. How did they respond to your re-raise?
They folded, and then we took it down.
Well played. Taking down the pot with a well-timed re-raise shows good aggression and strategy. Keep up the momentum. If there's anything else you'd like to discuss or another hand you need advice on, feel free to ask.
King queen offsuit on the button. I'm raising.
Raising with king queen offsuit on the button is a strong play. It puts you in a good position to control the hand and apply pressure on the blinds. How much are you planning to raise?
I raised 3 big blinds. I got a caller. I hit the king on the flop, top pair, but now on the turn there was another 8.
Having top pair with king queen offsuit is strong,
Okay.
especially on the flop.
Okay.
When an 8 comes on the turn, be cautious as it could complete potential straight draws or 2-pair hands for your opponent. Consider betting again to protect your hand or check to see how your opponent reacts. What's your plan for the turn?
I bet again, and our opponent called. We hit another ace on another 8 on the river, giving us a full house, kings or 8s over kings, and I re-raised again, and opponent called, and we took it down a fat pot. Now we're chip leaders.
Congratulations on winning the hand with a full house. Well played on betting for value on the river and getting called by a weaker hand. It sounds like you're in a strong position now with a chip lead. Keep up the good play. If there's anything else you need help with or another hand to discuss, feel free to ask.
Under the gun, I've got 10 jack offsuit.
With 10 jack suited under the gun, it's a playable hand, but not particularly strong from early position. You could consider limping in or folding, depending on your table dynamics and strategy. What's your decision?
Yeah, I folded, and there was a 5-10 queen on the flop.
Folding 10 jack suited under the gun was a prudent decision. The flop of 5-10 queen wouldn't have helped your hand, so it seems like you avoided a potentially tricky situation. Ready for the next hand?
Yes, we've got aces on the big blind.
Having pocket aces on the big blind is a fantastic hand. Depending on the table action, you might consider slow playing to trap opponents or raising to build the pot. What's your strategy with aces?
He raised me with king 4. I just re-raised and yeah, took it down. Ooh, Dave Savage, first of 6.
Nice job. Re-raising with aces against a raise from king 4 was a strong move, especially if you took down the pot. Congratulations on the win. If you have more hands or situations to discuss, feel free to ask.